When I talk to clients for the first time in a therapy session, I will start off by asking them, what would you like us to work on together? And the most common answer that I get is something like, I just want to feel happier, or I don't want to feel this way anymore. It's usually something to do with feelings and getting rid of them. The difficulty with this answer is that I can't change emotions. I wouldn't even know how to change my own emotions. In fact, emotions aren't something we can necessarily change or get rid of. So how then do we deal with the really painful ones? My name is Kathleen. I'm a provisional psychologist, and in this video, let's unpack how to have a new relationship with difficult emotions. So the first thing to understand is that emotions are normal. They're kind of like the weather, we have those dark, stormy days, we had some sunny days, windy days, the whole spectrum. There's actually this city called Melbourne down the bottom of Australia, and it's renowned for having what feels like 4 seasons in one day. The weather might start off really sunny and pleasant in the morning, and then by lunchtime it might be pouring down with rain, and then in the afternoon it might be really windy, and then in the evening it might drop down to really cool, freezing temperatures. So just like how the weather changes a lot in one day in Melbourne, I really like this depiction for what it's like being a human being. Our emotions will change constantly throughout the day, and this is very normal. This is something that we all experience. The second thing to understand is that emotions are not good or bad. They're not dualistic, and it's normal for people to feel bad emotions like anger or fear or sadness. Feeling these emotions doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you or that you have some kind of defect as a human being. In fact, as a therapist, I would be a little bit concerned if I met someone who told me that they were happy all of the time. So we want to start having a new relationship with our emotions where we recognize that they're trying to show us something. They can teach us things. They can help us understand ourselves better and other people. They can also act as clues for what we might need. Experiencing an intense sadness might be a sign that you need to say some kind words to yourself and start to give yourself a lot of self-compassion. Or experiencing that overwhelming sensation of anger might be a clue to a trigger or a deep wound or a memory that you've suppressed. So far, we've been looking at emotions from this top-down lens, having a new relationship with them, understanding that they're normal. However, in the heat of the moment, when things are really difficult, when you have a very painful emotion come up, what's some practical things that you can do to navigate this? Let's go back to that metaphor earlier. So we're stuck outside in the middle of an emotional storm. How do we get out that metaphorical umbrella to stop ourselves from getting wet? And it's important to highlight that we're not running away from the storm, we're just protecting ourselves with a little bit of coverage. Step 1 is going to sound really simple, but basically you want to check in with yourself. You want to notice, okay, what's going on in the inside? What is the forecast like? Step number 2 is to give the emotion a name. And this is harder to do than it sounds, especially in the heat of the moment. But really try and see if you can name what it is that's going on. Is it anger? Is it sadness? If you don't know what it is, can you still try and give it a name? Like, oh, this is that really painful, this is the really difficult feeling, this is the one I find hard. And step number 3 is to take action by grounding yourself. And you want to keep it simple. There's so many different ways to ground yourself. You just want to do one small thing that you know can help. It could be to take a really deep breath. You might gently start doing some butterfly taps on your chest. Maybe it's to count down from 10. Say some really kind words to yourself. Say a statement about yourself that you know to be true. Push your feet into the ground. Check out your surroundings. Name 5 things that you can see. So ultimately, in the midst of an emotional storm, when you feel that really painful emotion come up, it's about noticing what's going on, giving it a name, which creates a little bit of space with the umbrella. And then you want to start grounding yourself, which is a great way to defuse from this emotion. These are the first steps to start having a new relationship with feelings. It's a way of training your brain. It takes a bit of practice and work that's required. However, there are so many other evidence-based strategies out there that you can also use, and sometimes that's why it's good to go and talk to a psychologist so that you can get techniques that will specifically help you with whatever emotional storm it is that you're going through at the moment. I hope that this video gave you some good insight though, and maybe I'll see you in another one of my videos. Take very good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!